Hi folks, it's Marina from Blackstone Valley Tourism Council. I run the Explorer. The Explorer's in dry dock right now, but I thought I could give you some ideas of what to do while you're at home with your kids. So today we're going to take a look through leaf litter in my yard and we'll see what kind of critters we can find. So let's go over some of the equipment that you can use, some items that you might find in your house, or maybe you've already collected some of these items because your kids like to spend time outside. So let's take a look down here. So if you have any kind of white cloth is really useful. So when you pick up insects and you can place them on a surface that all their body parts will show up against. If you don't have white, a light color like pink or light blue or light yellow works as well too. Then just a old household utensil. We try not to use plastic items because plastic items like cheap picnic stuff really does break, and then you have the problem of finding all those pieces outside. So it's better to use something like stainless. If you're wanting to be advanced in your searches, you can get something like a double magnifier. And so your kids don't lose it, go ahead and put it on a shoestring so they can wear it as a lanyard. Or you can purchase cups in which the top part is magnified. It has air holes for the insects. And you can pop them in there. And if it does get dirty, after a while, you can wipe them out, or you can even wash them out, rinse them out with fresh water. Don't recommend using any kind of soap products because that residue will build up on the plastic over time. So when you first start looking, you want to pick an area that might be moist and shaded, and then maybe later on compare it to a place that's sunny and a little bit dry. So I'm going in the back corner of my yard where I know that water collects at the end of a rainstorm. So I'm going to start with these leaves first. So the first thing you want to do is turn some leaves over gently. If you don't like to do it with your hand, or you're not that adventurous, you can use that fork or spoon that you might have taken from your kitchen. And already, look, we have some little friends here. So I'll point at them with the fork so that you can see them. So at the end of the tips of the fork here, right, see, little guy's still kind of sleeping and hibernating, right? And I'll pick him up gently and I'll put him on the cloth here. Oh, I'm thinking that's a snail. All right, we got some kind of annelid here. Maybe it is a millipede. And look at the leaf itself. Look how it's already starting to decompose. These are leaves from last fall. Let's go down a little bit deeper and see what we can find. Okay, I'm going to stop moving, and I'm sure you're going to be able to see some little animals moving around. We go a little bit deeper. There we go. Look in there. Right here. All right. So when you're done, what you want to do is you want to gently put that leaf litter back. You're replacing their habitat. And then after you do this, you want to make sure that you don't step on the area because you've disturbed it. And by stepping on the area, you might hurt some of those animals. So let's take a look at the animals, the two animals we did find. Don't worry so much about not being able to name them. You can always look them up online later. If you have a phone, you can take a picture. I think this little guy escaped. Oh, here we go, right there. So, some kind of millipede. And then over here, we've got some kind of snail. Since both these animals belong in moist, wet areas, as soon as we're done, we're going to put them back. And you can see how they start to come out on the whites material, and we can see them a little bit better. So when you're looking at these segmented animals, the difference between millipedes and centipedes are fairly easy to tell apart if they're large enough. So millipedes have their legs going underneath their body, whereas centipedes' legs are on the outside of their body. So in, out, right? Millipedes generally are not biters. You don't have to worry about picking up millipedes. For the centipede, for the animals where their legs are on the outside of their body, you want to make sure that maybe you have some leaf coverage on your hand, or you can wear a pair of gloves or a pair of mittens, or keep them on the cloth. So I'm going to put this little guy back. Oop, careful. Trying not to hurt him or her. Having a hard time here. We'll just let him get on the leaf. And then that'll work as the vehicle for moving him. Putting him back under. And then the same thing with our little snail. We don't want him to dry out too quick, right? Because if we left him on the cloth in the sun, they'd dry out. All right. So this time we're moving from the wet, moist side of the yard to the dry, sunny side of the backyard. So this section of the backyard has been in the sun for a few hours. There's no leaves on the trees, so this section near the fence gets a little bit warmer and drier than the section near the trees. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging. We'll kind of use the same method. We'll move the leaf product gently and slowly. And I don't know if my camera person caught that, but it looks like we got some ants here already. Move some sticks out. So it is a little moist here, but it's a lot drier than the area that we were just in. So for something like this, you can even just turn the leaves over and take the leaves apart. And you may not be able to see anything, but you may get lucky and see something. Got some ants here. And some nice green growth because it's been sitting right in the sunlight for several days. I'm going to use the fork and we'll do a little bit of digging. Oh, here we go. I wonder what that is. I'll put him right here on the cloth. We know that this is a moist animal, so we're not going to keep him out in the sun too long. But at least get a good look at it. And we'll go back. So just remembering anytime you're looking for animals, you want to be respectful and gentle. Not sure what that is, but let's take it out and take a look at it. Oh, it feels like an old hickory nut, but that's still kind of a fun thing to look at. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Looks like a larger millipede, or maybe even a different kind, I'm not sure. Oh, here's some little activity right here. Oh, knocked him over. I guess he doesn't want me to pick him up. What do we got here? It's like a red wiggler. All right, so let's take a look. Look at that. You can see its nice segmented body, those antennae, those feelers. These animals are used to living in the dark in very well shaded places, so he seems in a hurry to leave, so we're gonna let him. We'll put him back in an area that's more conducive to his lifestyle. See, the red wiggler is already trying to bury itself even further in. And here's our slug starting to move around, feeling the warmth of the day. Every once in a while you can see those little antennae come out, but I got too close, so we pulled them back in. And it looks like there's one of the little tiny ants exploring our white cloth. And it looks like there's a millipede on top of our red wiggler right there. So a lot of these animals live in a shared habitat. They largely ignore each other, unless of course you have one kind that is a predator and that will eat other live animals. But red wigglers and millipedes are your decomposers. They eat mostly dead or dying material. And our slugs will eat the same thing, dead and dying material. They all blend in really well with their habitats too, right? So you've got the red wigglers that blend in with the different kinds of color of dirt and little pieces of pebble and stone. The slugs that are dark in color and blend in with leaves that are decomposing quickly. So they're getting a little bit feisty because they're warming up. We're gonna do them a favor and we're gonna move them back to their habitat. Make sure that everybody's there that belongs there. So what I'm gonna do is gently pick up my white cloth and put them back in this area, hopefully removing everybody that belongs there. And then I'm going to recover with the leaves. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had a good time watching me dig through my leaves, and I hope it gives you a little bit of inspiration to go searching outside in your own backyard. Just a reminder, every day that you play outside, and especially if you're digging in the leaves like I was, make sure you do a tick check at bath time or bedtime, and give yourself a check tomorrow. And you always want to be safe, and so you're being considerate for the animals that we're looking at, but also be considerate of yourself. So we'll see you later. Bye.